Oh my god. Alright, let's rock and roll. Hello guys, welcome back to IRL. Round 7 here at Brands Hatch. I'm looking forward to this one. It's my favourite track on the game, Brands Hatch. Well, one of my favourites I should say. I do prefer Nordschleifer, but it's up there in my top 5. Turn off my music. Yeah, I hope everyone's doing good. I hope everyone's had a good day. If you're at work or at college or at school. So yeah, is it going to be another whitewash of a weekend for Tamworth Fox? I don't know his pace around here. Whether any other driver can really compete with him this weekend, it would be nice to see, but so far he has been absolutely dominating this league. Here in Group 3, as we watch Pepe drive around in his Audi R8. But yeah, this should be a good one. I'm looking forward to this. As I said, whether anyone can challenge it'll be tough to see, but yeah, we're going to get up the timing screens now. And would you look at that? Tamworth currently on pole position. Net pole position, just under 3 temps, as he sits there and revs his V10. So, this race, I'm hoping to have a relatively full grid. Obviously we've got a few cars in the pits, as the NSX here leaves the pits, the Rothmans livery comes out onto track for the first time. Obviously we've got everyone racing here. We've got Tamworth, we've got Raleigh who's just entered the pits. I mean, just came out the pit, sorry. We've got Pepe, Skona, Russell, Ton. Yeah, that's so far it. We only have a 7-player grid at the moment. Obviously I think a few more people will be joining. But yeah, 6 competitors at the moment. All in a chance of taking victory here. And looking at the grid, it is a relatively close grid with Tamworth currently on provisional pole. Let me just create a party, guys, so I can check my audio volume. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, right, we're good. So yeah, Tamworth and pole, Raleigh in second, only separated by just under a tenth, so it's pretty close so far. Pepe, not very far behind, he's only 3 tenths here, in P3, and his fellow Hungarian, Skona in P4, Russell in P5, and Ton in P6. Speaking of which, Russell leaves the pits there, in his Mercedes-Benz, striking that very nice livery, as I think we're going to run on board here with the NSX for his first lap. So if you look at the gap so far, it is currently a relatively close grid. I feel like people have been practicing. Obviously, this is practice at the moment. Going to the qualifier now. 15-minute qualifier here for this endurance race. As the clock ticks down, Tamworth apparently on the medium compound tyre, so he's going to be going long for his first stint, hence why the grid was relatively close then, because he was on a harder compound tyre. She comes out of the pits there. But yeah, everyone's on their outlap, not much going on, not gonna lie. Ton's livery on his Porsche 911 there, really liking that colour combination. White, red and black Potenza livery on that 911, looking very, very good. Let's run through the liveries, why not? I think a few drivers are keeping the same liveries as they've had since the start of the season. One is being this Rothmans livery on the NSX. As you know, it is a lovely car. Everyone loves the Rothmans Williams livery. Well, I do personally. Russell, he's kept the same livery for this week, his DTM Audi livery. Very nice cherry red on that car, and I think he will be the first car to come across the line to start his first lap. Pepe, I do believe that is the same livery he's used since the start of the season. A nice golden red livery on the Audi R8 there, and then Ton. Ton is definitely my favourite livery of the grid so far. Yeah, very, very nice looking livery. Nice colour combinations there, the dark grey, white and red, looking very good. I do believe Susk, no, not Susk, Ascona is rocking a new livery as well on his NSX, and he flashes his lights there. A R2R livery, race to rule, sporting on his NSX there. Susk is still using the same livery from last week. He's got a tribute to Antoine on the front of his bonnet I saw there, so a nice subtle tribute to him. Tamworth in P7, using his Simtac livery, which is the same livery which I think he has used since the start of the season, as he goes a bit wide there onto the gravel. And Kazi striking a very, very nice looking livery, the orange and black. That's got to be up there as well, I do like that. Orange and black, looking very, very nice there on the NSX. So, Russell, he will be the first person to come across the line here in his Mercedes. As we look at the live timings, Tamworth has gone quickest in the third sector. Whether he'll be able to keep that on, I'm not too sure. So as Russell runs up to the line, and what lap is it going to be for the Brit? A 23.1. Is that a good lap? I think the pole time will be in about the 22.5s. Let's Pepe across the line. 1.6 seconds to drift. And that was a very good lap by Russell there. In the Mercedes, Susk comes across the line for P2, 3 tenths of drift. Whereabouts is Tamworth going to be then? Is he going to slot himself near the front? He does. 8 tenths of drift though. He's going to have to find 9 tenths on his mediums, which is a very tall order, but he's a very quick driver, and I do believe he is probably going to go for another lap there. It doesn't look like he's backing off. Right guys, I am just going to go quickly for 1 minute. I'll be back in just a second. So, have you had any updates? What has happened on the grid here? Have we had any changes of positions? Live timings, let's have a look at the split deltas then. So we've got a pretty mixed grid for purple sector times. Tamworth, purple in the first two sectors on medium compound tyres, let's not forget, sorry. Racing mediums there, highlighted. So he probably will be going quicker this lap. We've got Kazi going purple in the fourth sector as well. As you see, the gap has come down. It was 0.8 of a second to Russell, now it's 0.6, so Tamworth finding time there on those mediums. As his tyres are looking a bit worn, he probably will be coming in this lap. Yeah, he's nearly 5 tenths down this personal. So just over 9 minutes to go then for this qualifying session here at Brands Hatch. So far, Russell on provisional pole position for I think the first time this season. I'm not sure if he has been on provisional pole before. It mainly has been Tamworth this season, but good to see a different driver at the head of the grid. Susk in P2, the Hungarian splitting the two Brits there in his BMW. As Kazi runs wide into the gravel, that's going to compromise his lap. Can he keep it in together? Yes he can, just about. Having to slow right down though. As Tamworth entered the pits there, I think he's been a bit of a contact. There's been a bit of contact there. Front right of his car, front right bumper has got a bit of a whack. So we've got new drivers saying fastest laps. Kazi saying a 24.1 there. As he comes into the pits to switch tyres, get on a fresh set of rubber. So is Russell on a quick lap here in his BMW? No he isn't. 5 tenths down. What about Susk? Is he on a quicker lap in his BMW? 2 tenths down, so he is not going to be going quicker unless he can find lock time in the third and fourth sectors. Tamworth on his out lap there, so he won't be setting a quicker lap. And the NSX, the Rothmans liveried car, is currently sat P5 with Mafe. A good lap in there. He has gone purple in the first sector, so will the Belgian be looking to climb up the grid order or potentially sit on the front row? As he has gone quicker by almost 6 tenths. That is a very, very good effort from him. As he wings out the back of that V8, singing in the back of that NSX there. Very lovely engine note, that car. As he finds even more time, clipping the curb on the inside there to get the best run. Very clean and tidy so far by the Belgian. How much time is he going to find for this sector? Yeah, just under 6 tenths. So whether he'll be able to get up potentially into P4 maybe? I think that's the best he can probably do so far, unless he's found a lot of time in that last sector. He's going to run up to the line here, and what laps are going to be? It's P4. Predicted very well there for me. So then, let's ride on board with Tamworth here. He is on a quick lap, exploring all of the track there on that outside curb. Oh, he's found even more time, nearly 8 tenths of a second in the Audi R8. And let's not forget, on medium compound tyres here, he is 2 tenths of he's 2 compounds harder compared to Russell and Susk, and he's found just over 7.5 tenths. What kind of lap time is it going to be? It's going to be a 22.1, 9 tenths quicker than Russell on a 2 compound harder tyre. That is an insane lap time. Yeah, that is completely insane. I doubt anyone's going to be able to beat that. I'm not sure though. He's almost a second quicker than Russell, who's on racing super soft tyres. That is insane. That is an amazing lap from Tamworth. So, can anyone get close to that. Russell currently on a quick lap, I believe. What kind of sector times is he putting together? As the clock just ticks under 5 minutes. He's a 10th down. He will finish this lap, I believe so, unless he's going to dive it in for a fresh set of tyres. As that V8 sings in the wind there. As he runs up to the line, he does improve, but it's not going to be enough to get him anywhere near Tamworth. Tamworth just under 9 tenths ahead of his fellow Brit there. So we got a few of the R2R boys setting lap times. We've got Pepe in the R8 as well, setting a new lap time, and Kazi, who's so far on for a best lap. What kind of lap can he do? He does go quicker. He doesn't improve his grid position though, but he does find just under 3 tenths, putting him just a bit closer to Sue in the BMW there. So this is the best lap times here on the right hand side of the screen. This firebox on the right, and you can clearly see that Tamworth has a massive gap to the second guy, which is Russell, just under a second. It's insane that he can do that on, let's not forget, racing medium compound tyres here compared to racing super softs, 2 compounds harder compound tyre. And it's pretty insane. Pepe goes quicker than Kazi, finds just over 6 tenths in that Audi R8. Jumps his fellow Hungarian there. Who else is on quick lap? We've got Tom in the Porsche. Oh, that gets a slide of oversteer coming through that corner. He flies his way down towards the penultimate corner here. Tom comes up to the line and he does improve. Finds just over 2 tenths in that 911. But that's not forget, he's 2.6 seconds behind Tamworth. That is insane performance. So back to the racing then, back to qualifying, just under a minute, everyone out on their quick laps here. This will be the final lap of the session for a majority of these guys. Tamworth leading the field. One of 3 drivers, I believe. Russell and Pepe joining him there. So, can Tamworth go quicker in his Audi R8? Time running out now on the clock. Everyone's going to have to finish his lap, and I think that was Pepe who came flying off the track there. He spins the car on the exit. Tamworth not going quicker. He's just over 7 tenths. I mean, just under 7 seconds behind. Riley though, who's in the barriers as well, he did close the gap in the end. He got to get down to 5 tenths, but I think it is going to be Tamworth on pole unless Russell here can find something amazing. He is 2 tenths up on his personal best. So let's ride on board here with the Brit. Let's see what lap time he can put together. Just under a tenth up on his previous best. He needs to find a lot more to get that gap down to Rally. Needs to find 3 tenths to be precise. So what can Russell do? Is he runs up to the line here. Is it going to be a quicker lap? It is, but it's not going to be enough though to get him next to Rally. Oh, his fellow Brit Tamworth from the front row of the grid here. And I do believe that is qualifying done here for the endurance race. And it is Tamworth on pole by an absolutely mega 5 tenths of a second. He did do that lap on Racing Supersofts, his last lap, but he obviously lifted off. So he was still on the medium compound tyre for this race, and a very good job from him. So there's your results for qualifying here for the 30-minute endurance race. Tamworth on pole. So we're away here for the first of 2 races here at Brands Hatch. Tamworth leading the field down into turn 1. Hot pursuit by Russell in the Mercedes and also Rally in P3. And Russell has jumped the Honda NSX on lap 1 here. Will he be able to keep it together though? Tamworth looking to build an early lead as we do have a battle in the background. We've got Kazzy and Ton going side by side. There's a bit of contact between the two of them there. Kazzy holds on to P6. We do have a few moves going up for the grid. We've got Seuss going down the inside here of Rally. The NSX under pressure from the BMW. He's going to look for the dive down into the fast right-hander. He isn't going to be able to do it. And he was right on the back there of the NSX. Not so far. Tamworth building a gap of about 9 tenths of a second to Russell. Gap just under 1 second to his Brit behind. And then it's followed closer by Russell, Rally, Seuss. And then a bit far behind you got Pepe in P5, Kazzy in P6, and then Ton, and then Ascona in P8. A mere 6 seconds off the lead. As Russell looking to go on the outside here of Tamworth, he can't get a move down. And let's not forget Tamworth is on a slow compounded tyres here. All these guys behind are on quicker compounded tyres, either on super softs or softs. Look at that, it's lovely to see 4 cars within about a second of each other here. Tamworth will be under pressure for this first stint, and he's probably doing a bit of fuel saving as well, but he knows in his head that he has a pace advantage, and a pretty big one at it. Qualifying demonstrating that he was 5 tenths ahead of Raleigh in P3, who has dropped off the front row of the grid, but he's merely a car length behind that P2 as they all thunder down towards the penultimate corner here. We've got a little group here forming of 4 cars, and a bit of a gap back to Pepe and Kazi, who are fighting away. The 2 Hungarians within 4 tenths of each other, and you've got Tom and Ascona bring up the rear of the grid there. We're going to have a move into the hairpin. Riley looking for a way on the outside. Will Seuss potentially look for a move down the inside. Oh, still single file. Oh boys, we need to keep this clean. We don't want any contact. And Seuss is going to send one down the inside of the Belgian in the BMW. Who's going to come out on top in that fight? And Raleigh just about gets it done. Keeps onto that position. Good defending from the Belgian. As I think that was Russell running a bit wide there. He will lose a bit of time to his fellow Belgian behind. So will Raleigh be looking on the move here? On Russell, does pull out to the inside. He's not in the slipstream though. But it's good to see all 4 of these guys relatively staying within distance of each other. So the gap covering the top 4, 1.5 seconds here. A very, very close top 4 and a very close podium at it as well. Only a second cover of the top 3. So anyone may be potentially looking for a move here. As Raleigh does get a pretty good exit out of that final corner. I'd tuck into the slipstream if I was in, as Russell defends very aggressively to the right hand side of the track there. Not any moves, as Raleigh will be looking for a kind of switchback move up the hill to get a good exit. Russell does kind of defend to the middle of the track there. Plants his car very nicely, does the Mercedes driver. Oh, and that's Seuss making a mistake. He would drop off the front 3 there. It wasn't a huge mistake, but he got a bit of oversteer on the exit. No Seuss off, starting to wear thin now. And that has dropped him off the podium positions there. He's now 1.3 seconds behind, but I do believe he will be able to call that back. As Tamworth setting the pace here. He does have an eager Russell in the rear mirrors. I think Russell is going to be looking for a move down the inside. Tamworth and Russell race side by side. I have said that before this season a fair few times now, but Tamworth holds on to first place here, and that front 3 really starting to concertina. Brands Hatch providing very close racing here. The Group 3 cars settling very well to this track. Tamworth, bit of oversteer and exit there. That will compromise his exit. But I do believe he is pretty secure from Russell. Can't see his front three changing. Let's run you through the grid then. So we know the top four. Kazi in a bit of a world of his own now. He isn't that far off the leader, just under 5 seconds. We got Pepe in P6, once again in a world of his own. He sets the purple up there in his R8 on soft compound tyres. Tom, very distant 11.3 seconds off the front of the grid. And the Skona 23 seconds behind. It's going to be very hard for him to catch up. To 7th and 6th place respectively. As look at this, Tamworth, this is going to be under pressure here. Russell will be looking for a move down the inside. Who's going to be the two of the late breakers? Russell briefly takes the lead of the race, but it's going to be an inside move there for Russell. And Tamworth has to yield P1 there, but he knows he has strategy in hand here. But the thing is now, he doesn't want to drop behind Raleigh. If Raleigh gets past, then Tamworth will probably be unable to try and reclaim Russell, because Russell will try to sprint away, but as things stand, Raleigh isn't really that far. Isn't really close enough, sorry, to have a potential move here on the break. But let's have a look at fuel then. What is everyone looking at? Look, Russell just under a quarter of the tank, along with Tamworth and Raleigh. The NSX a bit more thirsty on fuel there. Oh, as he gets a big bit of oversteer on the exit there. He keeps the car in a straight line. As Russell dives into the pits along with Tamworth and Raleigh, all on three different compounds of tyres there. So Russell comes out ahead then. So Russell reclaims the lead here. But looking at the grid, Seuss, yeah, he has. He's taken. Oh, he's wide. Seuss has underfilled his car there to try and claw a bit of a gap back to Ray. That's a good idea if he didn't make that tiny little error, which has dropped him back to 1.3 seconds again, which he was prior to making that mistake. But I think Tamworth has overthought his strategy. He did go on mediums, but I don't think he factored in the fact that the fuel, or as he makes a bit of a mistake there, runs a bit wide, and he gets really close up to the back of Russell. We haven't seen him run on the super softs all session so far, and he gets himself half a second time penalty, which is pretty much nothing on this game. missed a lead. Missed a change of lead there. I'm sorry guys. Tamworth has taken the lead from Russell. I'm sorry I didn't catch that move. It's very poor commentating for me, but Russell now dropped back massively. He's now just over a second, and Tamworth, I do believe, will run away with this now. On super soft compound tyres, and look at that, he gets 6/10 quicker than the previous personal best. But obviously he does have that 5/10 penalty there. We're just over half race distance completed. If he can pull out a gap, which I do believe he will be able to, it won't affect him. So now can Rally put a bit of pressure on the back of Russell here for P2 in this race, with Belgium been thereabouts with Russell and Tamworth in the first stint there as he get a bit of oversteer. Which drops him off the back of Russell there. So Tamworth now pulling out a 2.4 second gap to Russell. The Audi driver pulling out a massive lead here. I will talk about that briefly. His strategy error there, it hasn't cost him anything though. But Russell then in P2, 3 seconds behind, along with Rally in P3, and then Susk in P4. Who's looking to chase that final podium position. We've got Kazi in P5, Toll in P6, Pepe in P7, and Ascona in P8. So, Tamworth, his strategy error which he made there is he probably thought the fuel was going to probably last a lot longer than what it initially did for him in that first stint. So he probably thought before the race started, I'm going to go into mediums, because the tyres, he's going to go longer for the first stint, and he's probably going to wear down the tyres and the fuel, so he'll have to come into pit for tyres and not for fuel, as he runs a bit wide there. So yeah, that's why he probably went for mediums, and then obviously he knew that he'd have to come in for fuel first, so he made a strategy error on there, being on the slower tyre when he didn't need to be. So he could have really stopped the race on super softs and now be in a world of his own, pretty much, at the front of this race. And but now if you look at his fuel, to be on those super softs for what, 5 laps, 6 laps, and his fuel is just under half. It's probably at about 40%, 45% would you say? With 12 minutes to go, he'll probably have to come again for another stop, and that will be it for the pit stops. Russell in P2, he's had a pretty straightforward race as well. He hasn't had much to worry about. It's been pretty clean so far. Rally and Susk have had a few little errors here and there. Susk more notably with his oversteer moments coming down from the hairpin in the first sector. But that's a very hard corner to get right though. I find that it is anyway. Because with worn tyres, the car does like to kick out on that rear curb. Especially if you get a tyre on the grass, in this sector in particular. It is hard to reclaim. Asus has to come into the pits. Obviously he underfueled the car on this last sector to catch up to Raleigh, Russell and Tamworth. So he sits in the pits there, he goes onto the set of softs, and if I was him, this would obviously be your final stop. He's going to have to do a bit of fuel saving though, which I'm sure he'd be able to do. He's a pretty quick driver, Seuss. But Tamworth now, lap 14, and with just over 10 minutes to go, is looking in control of this race. 3.6 seconds is the gap to his fellow Brit Russell in P2. He has a pretty small gap. Well, pretty small, it's a pretty large gap of 2 seconds around here. Because the lap's pretty short, a 2 second gap, or a 4 second gap for that, isn't as big. For example, let's say like a 1 minute 40 track. Let's say Nürburgring. That's a pretty long lap. That's like a 1 minute 50, 1 minute 55 lap. So obviously a 4 second gap around there will be pretty short. But obviously a 4 second gap around here is pretty long because the lap distance is shorter. So you have more time in that sense like that. So I think the pit stops will be happening this or next lap. Raleigh, have I missed another mistake? No, I haven't. Alright, it's good. Raleigh came for a pit stop there. Tamworth diving into the pits then for, I believe, his final pit stop here. 8 minutes to go in this race, and he has a pretty big lead to Russell. Russell will be able to claw a bit of that back though. He has saved a bit more fuel than Tamworth, so initially his pit stop will be shorter because he's got more fuel. And would you look at that, Russell has come out ahead of Tamworth, and Russell underfueling the car there just to spice up this race. He knew this race needed a bit of spicing up, and he has got just under 8 minutes to hold on to P1 here. Will he be able to do it? I do not know. He's going to have to fuel save if he wants to get to the end. But that is thrown the cat amongst the pigeons there. Tamworth now has to actually fight for this race lead, as he's looking immediately to try and go out the inside there. If Adora present himself, he's got probably about 6 laps, 5 laps to do it. But now, this will be a test for Tamworth. Is he able to find a move on his fellow Brit here? I'm not gonna lie, Raleigh, the Belgian, is right up his rear there in the NSX. 3 different manufacturers here, all within a chance of winning this race, but I do believe if Tamworth does get ahead, it will be pretty hard for Russell to get back. He is the quicker of those 3 drivers there, but in saying that, he has made a bit of a mistake. He has dropped off the back there of Russell ever so slightly, and now Raleigh is right up his rear on that NSX. And Raleigh underfueled as well, so it's going to be interesting. to see who wins this race. It's going to be hard for Tamworth to get past. Brandsats isn't renowned for its overtaking. As Russell defends the inside line there, as Tamworth looks to go up the hill. So that's Ascona getting out of the way there of the race leaders. Tamworth looking for a move down the inside. He's going to send one at a very, very unorthodox place there. And Russell's going to lose the position to Rally behind though. And Rally is going to send one down the inside, and Tamworth has been punted off into the gravel. He keeps the car in a straight line. But Rally ran him out of road there. And Tamworth, from going from race lead to P3 in the space of one corner there, has been dropped out of contention, and that is Ascona flying off into the gravel trap in the background there. But now Tamworth has got it all to do with 5 minutes to go here. Is he going to be able to take another straight win here in this race, or is it going to be a new race winner? It's now going to be one of these 3 drivers, and now the race has really been turned on its head there. I will look at a replay to see whose fault that was, but Rally, from being in P3 all of this race up to P1 in the last 5 minutes, is a very good position for him. But that was Russell there, flashing his lights. Now whether that's him saying, look, I'm the quicker of the 2 drivers, we can pull ahead of Russell, and we can pull ahead of Tamworth if we work together. I highly doubt it was, because these 2 are different manufacturers at the end of the day. Obviously 2 different drivers. Three minutes to go now. Rally Wave, been sat in P3 this whole race, has a gap of about 7 tenths to Russell behind in the Mercedes, and look who's bearing down them, Tamworth Fox, who was forced out wide onto the gravel, very lucky not to spin that car. He must be kicking himself, he did overfuel the car there. And Tamworth today on strategy hasn't been all there, he really hasn't. Made a mistake of going onto mediums for the first stint, which cost him a lot of time to the leaders, these 2 in particular, and Suze. But now has to get past 3 cars to win this race, and he has to do it in under 3 minutes, and Russell makes a mistake. This is Tamworth's really good opportunity here to get one of those cars done, and he does. P2 is in the bag there. Getting the move job. I love it when your controller disconnects, guys, I'm very sorry about that. But now Tamworth getting past Russell there. 1 out of 2 cars done and dusted for the Brit. He's now got 1 second gap to close in, and he's also got about, he's got 3 laps to do it, I'd say. Actually no, he's got 2 laps. This is the penultimate lap of this race. and Tamworth needs to get past Rally Mate. It's going to be a very, very exciting into this race. This final lap here is going to be crucial for Tamworth. He needs to get this lap absolutely nailed. Fuel and tyres isn't really an issue, tyres more so. Tyres are looking worn on all 3 drivers' cars, but fuel isn't an issue. But Rally putting in a personal best this lap has extended that gap to Tamworth, so will Tamworth be able to close the gap? It's going to be very hard to. I'm not going to curse this race. I don't want to say anything this yet, but Rally is looking to win this one. I hope I haven't cursed him, but so far he's in box seat position to do so. Tamworth today didn't execute the strategy to perfection and has so far lost his race due to strategy. It's pretty simple. Him going on mediums from first stint wasn't the best idea, and him filling up on too much fuel. All 3 drivers have filled up on a lot of fuel, to be completely honest, but Tamworth has pretty much filled up on 25% more fuel compared to these 2 drivers, which has cost him the race, put him behind Russell. And him making that error, or whatever it was, him being forced onto the track, has cost him dearly. But so far Rally has got half a lap to go here to claim a win in this season of IRL, round 7 here at Brands Hatch, as he negotiates the final few corners here, and has a 1.5 second gap. He's going to come around the final corner here, and he is going to win here at Brands Hatch. A great race. Tamworth P2, Russell P3, and overall that was a very, very good race. And I'm not gonna lie, I did enjoy that. Those last few laps are pretty good.
Nice work, Lewis. Excellent. Engine has blown, and his chances of winning the Malaysia Grand Prix with it. Nice work, Lewis. Excellent race, mate. Get in there, Lewis. Get in there, Lewis, boy. Beautiful work. Oh, he has won. Lewis comes home and sat now with. Get in there, Lewis. Miracles do happen, mate.
Guys, what an amazing job by you guys. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. Love conquers all.
I love a bit of Lewis. So Rally Mate wins his first race of the season. Great drive from the Belgian. Why isn't... So guys, we'll be back for the reverse grid sprint race in just about 5 or 6 minutes, so I'll see you then. Lights out. We are away here. And the Skona. There's been a massive crash at the start here. Are we going to have a race restart? I'm not sure what happened there, but Tamworth has been left 5 seconds adrift from the lead. And this race weekend has been one to write off for him. But Seuss with an amazing start on P2 already. I was going to play its lights out and away we go, but I don't have enough time. So Pepe leads the race then from Seuss, Tom, Raleigh, Russell, Tamworth, and Skona, who's currently sat beached on the grid. And with a jostle for the lead, then Seuss is going to 7-1. No, he's not. So Seuss up into the lead then, 1.4 seconds to Pepe behind. Oh, and Pepe's with a massive spin, hits the gravel trap, his right rear, right left, sorry, hitting the gravel, and he's been sent to the back of the grid then. And that is not how you hold on to a podium position there. But it's Seuss, who currently 2 seconds ahead of Russell in P2. Raleigh in P3, Tamworth P4, Tom P5, and Pepe in P6. With that spin there, which has cost him, and he is right at the back of the grid now. So the real question is can Tamworth get through this grid? He is the quickest driver on this grid. It's the reason why I keep mentioning him. I'm not fanboying at all. And that is Tom running very well there, and he keeps on track, but you can get penalties for doing that, just running wide. And he does so again. Commentator's curse coming into effect there. He keeps on the track, I don't know how. Nearly gone into the shadow realm. But Tamworth now looking in the back of Raleigh Maeve. Is he going to send one down to the inside? So late on the brakes, but not late enough. As Raleigh has it covered there. These two jostling for the race win last race in the endurance. Now that Tamworth right at the back there of Raleigh. He will be wanting to get past the NSX as soon as possible if he wants to have any chance of trying to get onto the podium. Now as Ton has left the room as well, down to 5 drivers here. The gap to P1 has come down. Russell has taken 4 temps out of Seuss that last lap. As Tamworth sits in the slipstream behind Raleigh there. The NSX doing well, but now look how close he is, even right through his gearbox. He's surely going for a move down the inside, underneath the Palmer Bridge. Can Raleigh potentially go for a cutback move here? No, he can't, and Tamworth moves up into P3. His next target is Russell, who's just 1.3 seconds up the road. Tamworth racking up the purple sectors there. Just watching his sector time there. He's clawed 5/10 out of that gap which Russell has. And speaking of gaps, Russell just under a second. If he can get on the back of that Porsche and get the move done before he gets overtaken by Tamworth himself, it will be very good. It will be very good for him just to have that buffer of space between the two of the drivers. So, 8 minutes to go now, halfway through this second race here at Brands Hatch. Sue's leading the grid so far, has just under 7/10 of a gap to Russell behind, who is closing on him, but so is Tamworth. And so is Rally. Oh, as Rally makes a mistake. He was going insanely quick and gets a bit of oversteer on the exit, just for good measure, was 5/10 up. But now look, Russell, right on the back of the BMW here. He's closed that gap right down, and in saying that, Tamworth is going for an undercut move here, so has Tamworth been running numbers this time, and has he got his strategy on point? He'll probably be doing a bit of fuel saving this lap as well. He's going to probably get a very quick lap. But Rally has come out ahead of Tamworth there. He's putting literally like no fuel. So he will have to come in again. Surely he can't go right. I don't know actually. It'll be a very tall order, but he's come out ahead and he's reclaimed P3. Susk, and I believe Russell might come in this lap, but Russell has saved a bit more fuel than the Hungarian. It would make sense for Russell to come in this lap. He will get ahead of Susk if he gets the fuel bang on. So Susk into the pits then with 1% fuel. He doesn't have to fill up for a lot of fuel here. Is he going to come out ahead of Rally or Tamworth? No, he isn't. So Susk has filled up for too much fuel there, and as a result has screwed himself of winning this race. Rally and Tamworth running the numbers correctly there, and they've come out with just about right fuel, but Susk putting in way too much fuel there. He has lost the racing strategy. Very similar to what Tamworth did. Bit of oversteer on the exit there for good measure. But Russell will be coming into the lap. Coming into the pits this lap, and Tamworth and the Rally. Tamworth right on the back now in the NSX. 3/10 up on the personal best set by Russell. Oh, Rally makes a big mistake. Bit of oversteer on exit there, really cost him dividend. Just under 5 minutes to go. Russell really needs to be going now. Oh, where's he going to come out ahead? He comes out behind? Okay, he's come out behind Rally Tamworth. So, once again Russell I don't know how much fuel, he's gone half a tank. He's gone way too much fuel. These drivers have pitted, I don't know what the percentage is, I don't know how many laps there are remaining. But I'd say it's probably like, it's less than 4. It's probably going to be like an 11 lap race. So Rally now literally has no buffer to the lead. It's either going to be him or Tamworth for the race win. And he's doing an excellent job of defending his position here. Tamworth tucked right into the rear of that gearbox. 3 minutes to go then, and Tamworth has a gap of around 5 tenths to close in to Rally Mayfair in the NSX. This has been the closest that Tamworth is on this back straight. He is closing. He's going for the dive. He goes for the dive down the inside. It's a risky move. It's very, very clean racing between the two drivers. And right now, really starting to feel the pressure of Tamworth behind. But if you look at the fuel, Rally has just under a quarter of a tank, 2 minutes to go. Tamworth with about 40%, so he doesn't have to worry about fuel, they don't really have to worry about tyres. With Russell getting a 5% time penalty there. So I don't think he's going to go for a dive into T1 then. Rally cutting off the slipstream very, very efficiently there. Oh, Tamworth gets a bit of a slide and he's lost a bit of time then. So 1 minute 30 to go, we'll be having this lap and the next lap. So 2 more laps to go then. And Tamworth needs to find a way past Rally if he wants to win this race. I don't think he hasn't finished the race. He hasn't finished both races, not once on the top step this whole season, I don't think. So Tamworth needed to find some time then. Oh, has he run wide? And I think that is going to be his chances of winning this race gone. 1.4 seconds then. And if Rally and Rally has to come into the pits, he's not going to make it to the end. I completely forgot about fuel. So Tamworth, with saving fuel, stuck behind the NSX, has been gifted the race win here. I completely forgot that Rally ran out of fuel. Not ran out of fuel, but you know, he was very low on fuel. And that has completely crushed the end to what was a really, really good race, which was building up to be a really good race, I should say. Thomas now just has to keep all 4 tyres on the road and he'll be coming through to win here at Brands Hatch. Kelvin North saying, what a good race, very clean. Yeah, it has been a very clean race, this one. Especially when Tamworth sent one down the inside, down the hill. on rally. Very, very clean driving from the two of them. So Tamworth, it hasn't been the double win for him today. Hasn't been the best of weekends for his standards, but he is going to come through here, the final corner, and he's going to win at Brands Hatch, the reverse grid sprint race. A great drive from him. Russell in P2, once again on the podium, and it's going to be Seuss just coming across the line, and a rally to take the final podium position. And Pepe, I believe, will come across the line for P5. Now I need to cue the team radio.
Get in there, Lewis. Miracles do happen, mate.
Little bit of Peter Bonington. You love to see it. You love to hear it. So that's done. Race 2 out of 2. There's your results. So it's victory for Tamworth Fox. We're getting used to this now. Tamworth with another win to add to his belt. 5 positions raised. And a very good drive from him. And all the podium. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed today's races. I'll quickly read what that comment said. It did pop up on my screen. Kelvin saying I can't be there to race. Yeah, it's a very good clean racing performance in this league. It's very good seeing clean racing. Alright guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm very tired. I had an 8-hour day at college today, so yeah, I'm gonna bounce. It's been good commentating, 2 very, very good races with a lot of strategy and good racing. Oh, you're Sir Spud, right? Sorry, I didn't notice your name. Alright guys, I'll catch you all in the next one.